That is what we believe science is for, the tool to allow us to find God.
If you have religious faith, then whatever anyone says about the world wouldn't matter to you. There's a pretense that data matters, and then they filter it, reinterpret it, slice and dice it so that it all fits in to the religious philosophy. So it requires blinders in order to make that happen.
This is the classic tug and pull concept where you can either be a man of science or a man of faith. But here's the problem. You can't just make a blanket statement. In what way are any of we Christians or Jews putting on blinders? Give us examples of how we refuse to recognize data and science. Of all the scientific discoveries, great and small, virtually all of them were religious folks who did so because they believed in their faith, because they saw it as something that reinforced their belief system, that proved to them ever more so the wonder of God's ways. That is what we believe science is for, to allow us to find God. The Big Bang, Georges Lemaitre, a Belgian monk, decided that there must have been a beginning. And the reason why he believed that is because his Bible told him that there was a beginning. Then he decided he was going to prove it. So Neil deGrasse Tyson doesn't seem to be really acknowledging the realities. And yet he accuses the religious of seeing this vast body of evidence and only taking those pieces of evidence that they feel fit within their religious framework. But he's doing exactly that.
Science is about taking the unknown and figuring it out. Intelligent design takes what is unknown and then doesn't try to figure it out. It says we can't figure it out and ascribes it to a higher intelligence. End of story.
That is utterly false. We religious folks are the ones behind the striving all the time. How does he explain that? We were the ones behind the DNA sequence, the Genome Project. We're the ones behind the Big Bang, like I mentioned. Everything that we treasure in science has a religious person behind it. This is what you want to believe about Christians and Jews, that they turn off their brains. Let's continue on with his insulting ascriptions about believers.
There's a tally of all the gods ever worshipped by humans in the history of civilization. So when you say, do you believe in God? Which God? Is it Zeus? Is it Poseidon? You look at all of this and say, is that the God you want me to comment on? Or is there some other God? In my studies of the universe, I value evidence, and I don't see evidence for any kind of active intelligence or power.
Saying that somehow the Judeo-Christian God is just one more God among all the other gods of the past, Zeus and Poseidon, he says. It's like saying that chemistry is the same thing as alchemy, or that astronomy is the same thing as astrology. I could throw it right back at him. What do you believe in, astronomy or astrology? Which chemistry do you believe, right? It's that exact same thing. The Judeo-Christian God is a completely different God. It was the only thing that made sense and the only thing that actually comported with reality for everyone. He doesn't believe that there are any gods because he hasn't seen any evidence of it. Short of God coming down from the heavens and manifesting in some way, you can't conclude that there was some sort of creation here. It's the equivalent of stumbling upon a dead body with a knife in the back and saying, well, how can I say that this was murder? Because I didn't see the murder happen. I have no evidence of the murder happening. When it comes to the concept of a creator, there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that there was intelligent design. Probability of the universe forming itself somehow is so impossibly odd that you can't meaningfully believe in it.
And this is why religions are called faiths, collectively, because you believe something in the absence of evidence. That's what it is.
No, that's not the correct definition of faith. That's what you want it to be. God is not a faith. God is reality. God is part of the existence of the universe. In fact, He's the creator of the universe. It's not any different than our recognition of gravity, our recognition of electricity, our recognition of love, our recognition of free will, and so forth. You call it a faith, that's fine, but you are the one rejecting the science, oddly enough.